Good morning, Road Crew. Welcome back to our live stream. Hopefully, y'all are doing well today. Had uh, not a lot of movement yesterday after kind of got into it. Had a little bit of an up run. Broke through that 200 on the 5 minute we were talking about, but not a lot of movement since then. We did get break, I believe. Yeah, we broke through the 15-200 as well, and then kind of just broke down, and now we're pretty much where we were. Did get that pullback that we were talking about to that 786, I guess. But yeah, it would have been. Let's see, that would have been pretty much today. So this morning, yeah, a lot of up, a lot of down. Kind of weird how far it broke up. If that was just the pullback, I guess, but. I just took it off, but it did hit our level pretty exactly that we were talking about yesterday, that 786. Well, I guess it dipped a decent amount lower than that. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Put it actually to the top and the bottom there, and it pretty much just went down and hit right on top of that. There's the resistance, or support, I guess, and then came down, broke back up, and then now we're kind of sitting really where we were at yesterday when we were talking about it on the live. So interesting. Hopefully y'all had a good day yesterday, though. There wasn't really much trading. Spearmaker kind of pointed out comments earlier, but as for our system, there wasn't a whole lot. You could have took the trade up. That would have been decently risky because we were talking about how we were kind of between the 200 and the 21 here, which is more of a neutral bearish zone. So really just something you want to be a little more careful when you're trading, because it's hard to tell which way it's going to go. It could go for the 21, it could go for the 200. We were expecting that 200 run, but we also didn't know if it was going to come down and get into that 786 and then go for the 200, or do something like what we did and go for the 200, then come down for the 786. Yeah, kind of weird. Was a little bit higher than I would have expected for sure. But we did get that breakdown eventually to our 786, and that should be the reversal there. So we'll see if that actually plays out. We'll have to do some TA, see what the longer time frames we're thinking about today, and see kind of where we're sitting at, what we're doing. The battle box is back up today. Cloudflare got its stuff fixed, so we got our battle box again. We can go. Got it back up and running. It's ready to be used either by us or by you. So if you want to go ahead and use our battle box, you're welcome to. There's a link in our description for it, so you can go ahead and check that out if you want to use our battle box. And we'll basically be doing like a little demo today. Basically what we do in the live is just kind of go through and set up our different things here and use our battle box to kind of set up that. So we'll go through and use that, and we'll see kind of what we're thinking about here as we do that. Yeah, let's just jump into it, I guess, here. So we'll just go ahead and head back here to our trading view and kind of get our chart cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to take off. I'm just going to hide this neckline and our fib retracement here, and then I'm going to take off these horizontal rays. They were for our TA yesterday that we were doing without our battle box. But yeah, that's really it for our chart cleanup, I guess. It wasn't a whole lot. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my FRBP levels for now. And that's kind of what our chart's sitting like. So let's head on over to our GPT here and just start it off. We always just click this left thing over here. Make sure you are using a recommended model, which is the GPT 5.1 right now. That's just because It's kind of finicky when you're if you use a different model. It's just, I don't know. They just sometimes it works fine. Other times it has random. It's not really that it doesn't work. It's just that it kind of throws in some weird uh things that it's not necessarily designed to do. Like, for example, if you use like one of the newer models, it will end up generating you a review without uh without asking for stuff. So then you kind of end up with all of this like random market review stuff that literally is from 2 or 3 months ago. I don't know where it gets the data from, but I actually think it's has to do with some of our scripts maybe, but uh, it's just weird. So if you use the one that we recommend, it should work just fine, just how we're showing it in here. So if you have any issues, and like I said, you can use the newer one. You just got to do maybe a little bit more work to kind of get it to give you what you know it's supposed to. So use the recommended one if you just want ease of use. Yeah, we'll just jump into it, get our screenshots here. I'm actually going to grab the new screenshot first. So we'll do that, and then we'll head and grab our different time frames here. I'm going to go open up my Google here, and we're going to go to our cryptocraft.com right here. I got it in my bookmarks bar, but if you want to open this up, it's just cryptocraft.com. Nice and easy. Both spelled just like this, cryptocraft.com. Nice and easy. Head to 19th, so that's today, and it looks like we have FOMC meeting at 1, so that could be interesting. That's a medium impact, so could have a little bit more of an effect on the market. So probably 12:31 to 1:30 we'll probably want to be watching out. Trump is speaking as well at 11. It thinks that's going to be low impact. We'll see. It's not really something I would be like worried about happening. Tomorrow looks like we have some decent stuff too. Oh, I didn't want to do. I want to do less. There we go. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see as we go. But we're just gonna grab our screenshot here. I like to just screenshot this little section of uh, just this little section here. But you could screenshot the whole page if you want to. It doesn't really matter that much. And we'll head back to our GPT here. Just throw our screenshot in there. Maybe. There we go. And if you use the snipping tool on Windows, you can actually just paste the screenshots into here, so it makes it a little easier to put in. Next, we're going to grab our different screenshots for our time frames. Same thing, easy. Just go to the 4-hour. We'll start with that one and work our way down. I like to zoom out a little bit, kind of get a little bit of history in, and then you just double click the price over here on the side, and that'll auto frame the chart for you. You can do that with all your indicators too. Just like that. And then we'll just get our screenshot, and I'll just basically screenshot the whole image for this, and we'll just throw it in our GPT here. Same thing for the 1 hour, moving down. And if you're all interested, the hotkey for our snipping tool on Windows is Windows key, Shift, and then S all at the same time. Oops. And then once you take that picture, like I said, I think typically it's in like a drag screenshot. So you kind of like drag this square into whatever you want to take the screenshot of. So you kind of just drag the square across to whatever you want the screenshot of. But you can change it to just do a full screen screenshot, and I think it's just right when you click the hotkey, it just takes a screenshot like that. Yeah, so those are our 4 different time frames there. Then we got our macro news there. And now we'll head to our FRVP levels. So these are pretty easy as well. The one thing that we'll do for these before we go grab them is, and this is just to make it easy to kind of copy and paste our levels in there. You can type these however you want, really. But the way I like to do it is say FRVP levels, and then I'll go ahead and go down a couple lines. And if you want to do that, it's just shift and shift and enter. And then we'll just do 24-hour, and then volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And go down to morning, and same thing, volume area high, point of control, and volume area low. And then I'll type the 30-minute candle as well on here with the high and the low. And that way I can just input all these. Like I said, you can type it however you want. It doesn't matter. The GPT should be able to read it. As long as you sort of indicate like what levels what and where they're at. That's pretty much all you got to do. I just like to type it like this. And then we'll head back to our chart here. Go to the 1 hour. And this is where we're going to do most of our work for the FRVP levels. So you're going to head over to the side with our tools. And there's all these tools on the side. The top is going to be your cross. And you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 from there. Click over, go to fixed range volume profile. You can go ahead and favorite this as well. And then it will pop up on your little toolbar here. Or wherever it is. You can move this all over the screen. So it could be anywhere on your screen. But that's where mine is, and that way you can just click it though and use it whenever you want to. Little tidbit there. And then we're gonna basically just grab 2 different time frames with this tool. So you're gonna want to go to yesterday. Obviously today is Wednesday, so you're gonna want to head back to Tuesday, and you're gonna want to go to 12 UTC. So for me that'd be 6 my time, so I'll go to 6 here, and then I'm going to go to 6 o'clock today, or 12 UTC today, and then these are going to be my lines now. So that's all you have to do is put the back part at 12 UTC, put the front part at today at 12 UTC, and you'll have your FRVP levels, at least for the 24-hour ones. So I already have my lines on here, but you're going to want to go ahead and make some lines if you don't already have them. Alt-J is the ray I use. It's just a horizontal ray. You could use full horizontal line or pretty much any rendition of any kind of like ray or anything like that. But I do prefer the ray just because it makes it, if I want to go back in time, I can kind of see where my lines are starting and I don't have to worry about them interfering or like cluttering up the chart. So I like to use the rays here. But all you have to do is just click and drag, and you're going to want to kind of hover them right over top of the corresponding lines. So red is going to be your volume area high, your POC will be the yellow one, and then the blue will be your volume area low. And we'll just get those nice and lined up. And as you can see, I went through and labeled my lines as well, so I have them all nice and labeled. And I also labeled them over here in my object tree, which if you want to do that, you just open up the settings. I guess you can double click that too, but you can open up settings and edit them in here. You can even do this without opening the object tree and just go to click on the line, click on settings, and then change the name of it. That just makes it, when you're in your object tree, they're easier to see, because typically whenever you make a horizontal line ray, you can see they're over here, they just say horizontal ray, so it's not it's kind of confusing when you just have like 10 different horizontal rays. You don't know which one's which, so a little easier if you can read them. But yeah, we'll do those, and then I'm going to go ahead and hide those for now, and we're going to move our back end of our square here. So we got our fixed range volume profile tool here. That back end was at 2, and now we're going to move it from, that back end was at 6, 12 o'clock UTC. So we're going to move it from there all the way to 2 a.m. today. So 1, 2, there we go. And these will be our morning FRVP levels. So a little bit tighter. And same thing, we'll just drag and drop. Volume area high is on red, POC is on yellow, and volume area low is on blue. And these don't have to be exact because support and resistance, like we're drawing here, are going to be more of zones. So just drawing on here like this, they're probably going to be pretty accurate. Even if they're not 100% accurate, they'll be close enough to be in the zone. All right, now I'm going to just go ahead and add all my lines back on the chart. You can do them however you want. Normally, the way I do it is kind of close 3 of them and just do 1, 2, 3, and then hide these ones, and then open the other ones and do 1, 2, 3 again. But the way that I have it set up right now and over here in my object tree is I just have them in line, so I can just double click on them and go to coordinates and grab the coordinates out of here, and I can just kind of go down the line doing that, nice and easy, especially for how I already have it set up here in the battle box. But if you don't have that, you're welcome to close or hide them or whatever. Okay, so we got that one pasted in there, and we'll just do that same thing for the rest of them. So double click, grab the coordinates. Once you go to the tab the first time, it should just pop up always in the coordinates. So you can just copy and then paste it. You don't even have to highlight it or anything. And that's all of the 24-hour ones. We got the morning ones. Two and 3. All right. So nice and simple, like I said. It's not too difficult to kind of get those levels in here. We got all of our FRP levels now. We got all of our screenshots. So the last thing we have to do is get that 30-minute candle. And that's also pretty simple. We'll just head to the 30-minute chart. And if you want to, you can close out your lines to make it a little easier to see. Just like this, and then we'll head to that 7:30 candle, my time, 7:30. 6:30 candle. And that 6:30 candle, we're gonna do the high and the low of. So you can either get the high and the low right under where it says Cabrode on my screen. There's a H and an L up there with the numbers next to them. That's the high and the low. Or the easier way to do it is you can go to this object tree here. And up at the top, there's a couple tabs. You want to click on the data window tab, and right in this first section, it'll have the high and the low. So we just hover over that 6:30 candle, and then it pops up right over here in this section with our high and the low. So the high for the 30-minute, the 6:30 candle is going to be 91,832. So we'll head back here. 91,832, and we'll do the same thing for the low. Hover over at 91,269. 91,269. Okay, so that's all of our different levels, all of our screenshots, and now all we got to do is send it in. Okay, so our DMR, this is what it kind of looks like. Tells you the date here. Tells you it made a DMR. And then below that, we got some TA for the different time frames that we sent it. Not sure what the sentiment snapshot is, but I'll have to check that out and figure out what that is. But not sure what that is. We got the key levels here under that. Trade strategy outlook, and then some news events. You got to make sure that you're paying attention because a lot of times I think it actually guesses based off what the news is. So, for example, if you remember, the Trump was actually a lower impact on, at least on cryptograph. And then on here, you can see it thinks it's a high impact, and the FOMC meeting was medium, and on here it's very high impact. So just be mindful of it and be careful when you're paying attention to it. Execution considerations, so things to think about when you're looking to take a trade. Again, educational purposes only, but that's we got that on there for you. And then below that, we got weekly zone reference. Honestly, it's not going to be 100% exact because you didn't actually give it the weekly zones, but if you do end up giving it the weekly zones, which is an optional step, those will be there. And then you got emo levels, which are just some levels you can take out and throw on your chart if you are interested in doing that as well. We're going to start with the different time frames here, do the some TA on all of them. So we'll kind of just run through them. I'll read the battle box, and then we'll do some TA on top of that. I'm going to go ahead and throw my FRVP levels back on here one more now. All right. So let's jump into it. The battle box says BTC continues in a clean downtrend with price firmly below all major MAs, including the 200 SMA here on the 4 hour. The latest bounce attempt failed at clustered 4 hour MAs, rolling price back down. So I believe this is the reclaim it's talking about here, and then we rolled down from there. MACD is flattening, still below zero, correcto. RSI is mid-range, no momentum shift signals, and the 4 hour remains bearish with no evidence of trend reversal. Sweet. So TA wise, we got a little bit of a flag forming here. It's not really set enough where you could kind of tell what kind of flag, but it looks like some kind of flag is going to be forming here after our little bit of down run here. Just a small target about 85,000. I believe Spirit Maker's been talking about that in the recaps here. Sentiment snapshot is if you give it the screenshot of fear and greed index from CoinMarketCap. Okay, cool. So we didn't give it that, but maybe tomorrow we'll have to jump on that in our live. But yeah, Spirit Maker's been talking about 85 levels, so we'll see if we can get down there. If you've been watching the recaps, you'll know that's a levels he's been watching. I believe 88.5 is what he's talking about right now, so that's possible. So we'll have to kind of look through here the rest of the time. We are below on the MACD, lost momentum here, so we're not really looking for anything crazy coming out of that. Still a downtrend. RSI is more bearish than it is, it's more oversold. Right now it's in the oversold range. Not completely oversold, but in the more oversold range. If we do get that 88.5, honestly, we could be forming the pattern I was talking about yesterday in the live. So that, again, I don't remember exactly what we call it, but basically come down, break up, and then make a lower low here, and then we'll come up past the neckline, and then it will break down about 786 and go up again, and that'll make the head and shoulders. But if you catch this pattern here, you can actually take the trade right here. And the way that we're kind of watching for it is you want to see price here will come down lower than price here, but you'll see on the RSI you'll get a lower low here, like we'll spike down farther here, and then when we come up and do that retrace and break down even lower on the chart, we'll actually only break down to like say like right here, and then we'll break back up, so we'll get a higher low on the RSI here, which would be some divergence, and that'll tell us that we're looking for that reversal. We got it on the 15-minute yesterday, and that's what I was talking about earlier with that 786 retracement. The only thing is, one, it was weird how far we broke up, so we kind of messed with the pattern, because typically when you see that, you'll see price come up and break the neckline, but it won't like continue really far. It will kind of maybe break it, maybe go a little bit higher, and then it will break back down. But yesterday we got the break, and then it continued up even higher, and then it finally ended up breaking back down. So kind of ruined itself there. And typically it's better when for this pattern when we see the longer time frames kind of line up with this one, and it didn't really. You just had the 15 and 5 lining up, so we could be setting a better one right now for sure. And that would kind of make a little more sense as well. So we'll see if we get that breakdown to that 88.5, and then we'll also have to see if we can stay up here on the RSI, or if we're just going to dip even lower, which continue to tell us that there'll be some continuation here and continue to drop maybe to that 85 level. We'll see. Heading to that 1 hour. The 1 hour says price rejected the descending MAs stack again overnight. So we rejected here on the descending EMA or MAs here. The 200 remains above price. And a local structure shows a potential bear flag forming. MACD is weak and rolling over here, and the Stoch RSI is turning down from mid-range. Basically, it says the 1 hour momentum is bearish with continued lower high development. So we kind of got this breakdown here. We saw a little bit of a flag forming here. Kind of our different levels are kind of almost even holding the flag. More of a sideways flag here. And now we're starting to get that breakout and continue downward. That would give us a target of about 87.7 if we went down to there, just based off that flag. Could even be a little bit less. That pretty much is that's a pretty good like indicator, basically, that we could see that 88.5 for sure. MACD is getting that breakdown. We tried to get that cross here, flip us a little more bullish, and we couldn't see it. So now we're flipping back to being more bearish, and we're getting breakout through the bottom line right now. RSI, we still have some more room to go. Yellow, the faster or slower moving average, is above the slower moving or the faster moving average again. So yellow's above purple, means more bearish, and you can see yellow typically kind of shows you what trends we're in. So if you see yellow going down, that typically means we're more in a bearish trend. If it's kind of like flattening out, going sideways, that's neutral. And then whenever it's crossing, going up, that's a more bullish sign. And you can kind of tell that yellow's going to turn like whenever you see it cross typically. Not all the time, obviously, but when you see that cross of the purple across the yellow, that typically means that price is going to start flattening out if we can hold above it. Here, though, for example, we just kind of spiked up and then spiked back down. So more than likely, yellow will stay continuing down and keep pushing that faster moving average down as well, which means that chart will continue to go more bearish, and we still have a decent amount of room to go before we get into that until we get too oversold and have to see that climb back out. So we could set up an even better pattern here for that trade pattern we were talking about, or shark fin, I think is what we called it. I don't remember, shark fin pattern or something like that. Stoches don't really matter too much on the 1 hour, so skip that one. Moving on, we'll head to our 15 here. Prices trading below the 21 and 200 SMAs. We got clear bearish bias. Multiple rejections from the 21 SMA on micro pops. No too close breakout above any bullish trigger level. The 15-minute bias is bearish. Confirmation dependent on the breakdown trigger behavior. All right. So I'm guessing the breakdown trigger is going to be our volume very low here. So we're looking to get 2 closes below and then a retest here on the 5-minute. So we're basically, we're just waiting for that second close, really. I don't know if it will happen this candle or not. Right now we're looking like it's not going to happen, but we'll see as this candle kind of plays out. We got that cross to the downside right now on the MACD. So that is looking for some more possible downside. The flag here is kind of the same as we were talking about in the 1 hour. You got that breakdown here, kind of came back up, and we're kind of just making this sideways flag, so more unlikely it will continue that down run here. Let's see, RSI, we're getting that curl to the downside, starting to look more and more bearish as we continue. And as for Stoches, though, we are actually pretty much at the bottom, so possible flip to the bull side here for the Stoches, a little bit of an up run, maybe kind of keep us in this FRVP zone for a little bit before we actually end up breaking down. We'll see as we go. Heading to the 5-minute here. Last one. The battle box says price slipped below the 21 and 200 SMA again. Stoches RSI reset fully oversold and is attempting to curl, but still beneath MA stack, meaning no long setup. Execution bias remains down unless the 5-minute can reclaim the 200 SMA with structure. Basically, the battle box is saying that the 5-minute momentum is weak and bearish, vulnerable to continuation. Nice. So basically, it's looking for that continuation to the downside here. As we say that, obviously it's ripping up, but we're seeing some breakdown here on the MACD still. We're kind of flipping right now. We'll see if that candle will flip it or not. You got RSI here breaking down. Again, it's kind of flipping because of this candle. Pretty decent sized candle right here. Bullish engulfing three candles back. Pretty crazy. If we get a close up there, which is pretty soon, really. But we'll see. As I said, RSI still looking for more downside. If this candle closes more bullish, we could see a flip in that to the upside. As for Stoches, we are at the bottom, so we're looking for more upside, at least for now. So yeah, we could have a little bit of a up run here. Will it be big? I don't know. I wouldn't think so. Not too big. Overall, I would say we're looking for some more downside trading today. We're going to go ahead and make a battle plan here, and then we'll be done for today. y'all are interested in watching more of our stuff, make sure you check out our recap. We do have it coming out at um, 10. So that'll be a recap of yesterday, which I know sounds like it wouldn't help, but watching recap always helps you kind of learn how to read the market and kind of see what we're thinking about and see just what the TA was for yesterday. And it just kind of helps you, learn how to use the TA really into the future. I mean, really, when you learn anything like this, you kind of learn it in the past and then go and look at it for the future. So that's kind of what the recap is designed to do, is help you kind of look at yesterday and see what the price action was doing and then be able to apply that to today. And really, a lot of it too, if you use some of yesterday's price action, also helps you kind of do some TA for today. So it's a great thing to watch if you just want to do a little bit of a refresher on what happened yesterday and maybe what you're thinking about for today. But yeah, we'll kind of jump into this here. So we got our levels here, so check out those if you're making one of these. But we're really interested in just this section here, the go no go checklist. And then that's really it. There's a couple of different things. So on the battle plan, so if you try it out for yourself, make sure you check out the whole thing. A lot of it is pretty interesting. And if you are a little confused by it, you can go ahead and ask the GPT for a teachable one, and it'll actually make it, it'll make it easier to read, but it'll also add a bunch of different things on there to kind of show you how to read it and like what you're looking for, why this level's on there versus this one, all that kind of stuff. And it's also open to, you can just ask it if you're even confused about really anything on the whole AI. Just go ahead and ask it. And again, we do have our comments section, so make sure you ask questions in pretty much any of our videos. We try to answer all the comments as best we can, so go ahead and ask it if you have any questions about TA or anything like that. Alright, so basically we got a bearish bias for today. Prices below 21 and 200, so based off of our Kubota Battle Box rules, that is bearish, basically, consideration, just over general. So we'll be looking for more of that short today. If we get that break below that 191.269, which is basically our volume area low. So if we check back out the chart, it's this bottom level here. That's kind of what we're looking at. Let's see. We get that close below, we make 2 candles, and then we retest in the 5 minute. So pretty simple trade there, just like typical. It's the more higher probability trade today. Not to say that we couldn't get a trade to the upside. It's always up for grabs, so it kind of depends here, but more than likely, once we kind of break this resistance you see here at the POC, get those 2 closes below the volume area low and retest, we'll be looking for that down trade there. Yeah, I'm on the 45, kind of weird. My bad. There we go. 15-minute candle. There you go. Nice and easy now. This candle's pretty nice wick there. Yeah, we'll see. We're waiting for those 2 candle closes with the volume area low. That retest in the 5, and that's where we'll jump in. Other than that, like I said, have any questions, throw them in the comments section. We do try to help as much as we can. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us to get our channel to more people and be able to teach more people how to use TA to change their life. So yeah, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you can. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Happy trading to y'all, and we will catch y'all next time for our stream tomorrow. Comes out at 8, so make sure you don't miss it. See you then.